and everything. But like when I'm like that's what I'm saying. But you'll get in. Extra science is in. It's not hard. Let me take it with I did that. It's not bad. Take it. If you take it with Mari, I'm going to test. So look at my Tiger Liaison. And afterwards, like, I met lab and saw it go to UAB. But now that I think about it, like, and just like real.
All right, everyone, I'm sorry for the little bit of a late start, but this meeting will now come to order. Would anybody like to utilize open forum at this time?
Johnston at large. This week's talk is about why we shouldn't worry. So here are four reasons why we shouldn't worry. Number one is you can't predict it. Number two is you can't control it. Number three is you're missing out on the present, which is the best time of your life. And number four is sometimes the worst scenarios you're imagining aren't as bad as you think.
Thank you. Would anybody else like to utilize open forum at this time? All right, moving on, we will now go into the approval of the minutes. The minutes were sent out electronically last week and this morning. Are there any corrections that need to be made to the minutes? All right, seeing none, these minutes are now approved and corrected. We will now move into our reports from our officers, beginning with our president, Jake Haston.
Hey guys, hope you all had a great weekend. So an update from us. So we have completed our exec goals and we're going to be sharing those with you at the end of this Senate meeting, and I'm really excited to get to share this with you. We're all really passionate about it and hoping to accomplish those goals during our year. A couple Board of Trustee things that y'all should know is we are getting two new trustees this year, and so those trustees are going to be Zeke Smith, and he will be an at-large trustee. He's an executive at Alabama Power, and Caroline Adderholt, and she will represent District 7. Also, we had our first meeting of the Presidential Transition Committee. So that's the committee that's all about transitioning Dr. Gouge to Dr. Roberts in kind of a seamless way. And I just want to say I'm very excited about kind of the priority that Dr. Roberts is putting on student-facing issues. He really is going to be a president that cares about students and, you know, what they're going through every day, and I just wanted to share that with y'all. But that's all I've got. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Jake. And now moving into our report from our treasurer, Jake Darling.
Hi, everyone. Very little to report today. iGrad rollout was not ideal due to the tornadoes taking place on Tuesday. That was unfortunate. But all I ask is that y'all sign up for iGrad, please. I'm begging you. Sign up for iGrad. I really appreciate it. That's all for me.
Can you explain a little bit about
Yes.
more about iGrad, what it is? Yes. Also, John David, you missed talk.
My apologies if I've not been clear on that in the past. iGrad is a financial literacy and wellness and educational platform we've been working with Regions on the past couple of years. And so this is a long-term partnership we have with the Provost Office with Regions and SGA. And so it's on Canvas, very easy to get into and set up and understand. And so it's a hope that we can keep expanding this relationship we have with Regions and kind of keep building on it from here. There's courses on, taking out a loan, on how to set up a budget. Really anything you need financial literacy wise, it's on that platform. And so I really encourage you guys to take a look at it, sign up for it, and encourage your friends to take a look at it as well. Great, thank you so much.
Thank you, Jake. And now moving into our report from our Executive Vice President of Cabinet Administration, Rep Block.
Hey y'all, not really much to report from me other than that we finally have our cabinet, and we had cabinet retreat yesterday, which went really well. So if you need to contact any members within cabinet, hit me or any of the rest of the team in the back with an email or a text. We'll get you connected with them. Thank y'all.
Thank you. And now moving into our report from our Executive Vice President of Communications and Marketing, Abby Ronson.
Hey y'all, the only thing from me is that the SGA sweatshirts will be in the student involvement suite tomorrow behind the desk from 7:45, basically to when the suite opens to when the business day ends, tomorrow and Wednesday. So just when you're picking up your sweatshirt, make sure that you initial next to your name so that we have some sort of consent that you picked it up. And other than that, let me know if you run into any problems or if your sweatshirts weren't printed correctly or anything like that.
Thank you, Abby. And now moving into our report from our Executive Vice President of Outreach, Jordan Fluker.
Y'all, not a whole lot for me. Just to remind y'all, Run on the Lawn is April 21st. Outside of that, continue submitting any research requests that you involve, and also submit any Auburn answers, any feedback that y'all have, whether it's during office hours you get any, or you're just with friends.
Thank you, Jordan. Now our report from our Executive Vice President of Initiatives, John David Matthews.
Happy Monday, everyone. Just a couple things from me on the dining side, mainly dining dollars, and then the block swipes, which is like the 25, 50, and 75 swipes. Those will roll over into the summer and won't cancel out till next fall, so you can use those over the summer. If any of your friends or anybody you know is staying in Auburn this summer and worried about, I don't want these dollars to go to waste, they can use those over the summer still. The microwave in the first floor of the Student Center. I don't know if any of y'all have tried to use it, but you have to click number 8, which cooks it for 5 minutes, and that's your only thing that you can do. So that thing is being replaced. Thank goodness. It needed to be updated. And then lastly, SaladWorks is expanding its menu and adding grain bowls. So I don't really eat grain bowls, but if that's your thing, looks like it's Lucy's thing, then SaladWorks will have grain bowls. That's all for me.
Thank you, John David. And now moving to our reports from our colleges, beginning with at-large.
Large. So we've kind of struggled getting a time nailed down where we're all free for office hours. So we're kind of planning on using the dining hours as an opportunity for us. Also too, Jabin's rec hours are going to help us a ton. So excited to use that, but that's pretty much it from us.
Thank you. And now moving into our report from the College of Agriculture.
Davidson Agriculture, not much, just having cabinet interviews this week, and then they'll wrap up around Thursday. Then we'll have our list finalized, hopefully by Friday mornings, then we'll have confirmations coming through next week, but that's it.
Thank you. And now moving into our report from the College of Business.
Sadie Business. So Lucy's looking how we can get microwaves into HHH. Also, we were supposed to have a meet and greet, but that did not happen. There's a little bit, there's not like a line item for it, so we have to move some money around, but Nick's working with Jake with that, and we're gonna get it done. We're gonna get it fixed. Also, if you have any dining requests or any feedback, just any request at all, go to Lucy. She's the girl to talk to. She'll get it done. And then also, the diagram bread company is going out, so we need to figure out what to replace it with. So we're leaning towards Sam Bazon, if y'all know what that is, or Smoothie King. If y'all have any other ideas or any feedback, please come to us. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Andrew. And now moving into a report from CADC. Thank you. Now moving into our report from COSAM. Now moving into our report from the College of Education. Now our report from the College of Engineering.
Accounts, engineering, not much to report from me, but we have just gotten our interim dean for the College of Engineering, and also this week we have a meeting with the president of the school's council for engineering to further our relationship with them and get our objectives kind of on a roll and going.
Thank you. And now our report from the College of Forestry and Wildlife Sciences. Looks like Nico's not here, so now our report from our graduate school.
Hi everyone, Dulala Graduate School. I have updates at my hand here. So the Student Research Symposium that was held on the 28th was a success, and there was an award ceremony that was last week Thursday. So we have 400 participants, and we have 64 awardees. Also, the second one from my hand here is that the Frankston Memorial Fellowship winner will be announced on April 17th. And the third one is that there will be graduate award brunch on April 28th. And the last one is that the GSC, Graduate Student Council, have a LinkedIn page. So I implore you all to follow our page. Thank you.
Thank you. And now moving into our report from the College of Human Sciences.
Williams Human Sciences. Not much for me besides we finally got our new vice president, so excited to plug her in. And ambassador interviews will be coming up, which is like our school's council. So happy to get them so Marilyn and Lauren can have some people to work with.
Thank you. And now our report from the College of Liberal Arts.
Baranco Liberal Arts. The calendar of CLA events came out last week, so the CLA senators are going to start going to those for the rest of the semester to try to get feedback directly from students, because we've been struggling a little bit with that. And that leads me into my second point. If anybody has any ideas on how to get more feedback, specifically during our college office hours, because we get a lot of work done during that time, but students never really approach us, so we're trying to figure out more ways, maybe like have some kind of like suggestion box in the Haley Center or something like that. But if y'all have any ideas, just let us know. Thanks.
Thank you. And now our report from our College of Nursing. And now our report from our College of Pharmacy. Thank you, and that concludes our report from our colleges, and now moving to our reports from our committees, beginning with Academic Affairs.
God at large. So this week in our meeting, we're really going to try and prioritize how we can make our time left here at Auburn the most efficient. And we've made great progress with all of our projects, but we want to pick up on getting more honors classes for the Honors College, while also the testing center and the or computers in the testing center is something that we want to pick up with as well. And then our meetings are at 4:15 on Tuesdays. And as always, if you have any questions or want my committee to work on anything specific, please let me know.
Thank you. Now moving into our report from our Budget and Finance Committee.
Seward business. So we are waiting to find out the last financial representative for the SAPs and SAOs. And as soon as we do that, I'll be sending out the introductory email. We are, like Andrew said, we're taking out the reserve fund requests for the business school because kind of an explanation of that is there's not a line item in SGA's budget for us to do that. So like basically we could allocate the money to something else, but there would be a lot of work that had to be done that like in order to get it to the business school. And so with the end of the school year approaching and everything like that, we just decided it's best to move the meet and greet back to the fall, and we'll try and figure out a way this summer maybe to find a way around that. But that's kind of why that's happening. And lastly, there's a Beat Bama Food Drive program expansion fund request that's coming through, and as of right now, it's a future order. But I moved to suspend. I moved to suspend the rules of order and push PSSB 2204 1801 from a future order to a current order.
It has been moved to suspend the rules of order to move PSSB 2204 1801 from a future to a current order. Is there a second? Is there any debate? Seeing none, we will move into a vote. We will be taking a vote by hand, so please raise your hand if you vote yes. Please keep your hand down if you vote no. Raise them high so Ben can see. It looks like the ayes have it, and this bill has been moved from a future to a current order.
And that is all I have. Thanks, guys.
All right, next we have our report from our Code of Laws Committee.
Dickinson Business. So first I'm just going to start off by talking a little bit about the duties and responsibilities of the Code of Laws Committee. So our committee is put in place to consider the needs, interests, and recommendations submitted to the committee regarding the structure or syntax of the Student Government Association Code of Laws or Constitution. So with that being said, it's basically we just work to present bills of law to the Senate floor that seek to create a more coherent syntax regardless of section and without consent from other standing committees, excluding the executive committees. So as long as the meaning behind the section is not altered. So if you have any questions or want to come sit in on a meeting or have feedback or anything pertaining to the Code of Laws, please don't hesitate to reach out.
Thank you, Ashton. And now moving into our report from our DEI committee.
Okay, Rickles DEI, Rickles CLA. I do this every time. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to give a little presentation on DEI as well. So the DEI mission statement for Auburn University recognizes the importance of promoting an inclusive and diverse environment that supports the growth and success of all. We believe that the contributions of diverse cultures, ideas, and life experiences combine to create an enriched and engaged campus community for the Auburn family. Into the definition of all of these things. So diversity, individual differences, so personality, learning styles, and life experiences, and group social differences, race, socioeconomic status, gender, sexual orientation, religion, ability, national origin, ethnicity, political, cultural, or other affiliations. Equity is the guarantee of fair treatment, access, opportunity, and advancement for all students regarding the type of diversity that they quantify in. Inclusion puts the concept and practice of diversity into action by creating an environment of involvement, respect, belonging, and connection. It involves harnessing and leveraging diversity in a manner that strengthens the organization, provides it with a competitive advantage, and in the case of an academic institution, provides education and solution-oriented benefits. So in 2020, with all the events that happened that year, there was a presidential task force for opportunity and equity that followed the events of 2020 and it reinvigorated a national movement to advance DEI. So Auburn University, at the time, President Jay Gouge, established the Presidential Task Force for Opportunity and Equity. It was a representative team invested in developing an equitable and inclusive Auburn University. The priority of the task force is to examine racial inequality and recommend strategies for addressing disparities. So at the current moment with our committee, a lot of the things that we are focusing on are as a result of the things that happened in 2020. addition to the DEI committee, this is something that we really want to see you guys input in all of your different schools. And so I will be sending a link in the group meet after this to show the diversity action plan in each of your colleges and what specifically those goals are in your colleges that you can do to help within your different colleges. That's all. Thanks.
Now moving into our report from our student affairs.
Justin, engineering. To start off, we're currently crafting survey questions for parking, housing, and the rec. And with the rec, JD mentioned this, we're starting office hours. So you'll be in the lobby area just fielding questions, seeing how students feel about their experience with the rec. It'll count as an involvement hour, so please reach out to me if you're interested in doing that. Senator Gilmer actually had the great idea of advocating for a sauna in the rec. So currently we're compiling data for that. Really great idea. I'll be reaching out to the library to advocate for TI-84 graphing calculator chargers and iPhone chargers. So if you think of another charger or something like that, please let me know and I'll add it onto the list. And then with dining, we're writing up an ingredient list for a fresh grocery box. So if you think of something that, if you're in a dorm or even as a student that you can use dining dollars for, avocados was something that I immediately thought of. That was like, oh, students would absolutely love this. And with that, we're increasing marketing for our HelloFresh partnership with the university. So yeah, that's all I got.
Thank you. And now moving into our report from our executive committee. I would ask that the senators stop talking while people are giving their reports. Thank you.
Jones at large. Not much for me this week. Just a reminder to do your office hours before tonight. Also, too, we'll have the current order coming through this week, and there'll be 2 amendments. We're also going to do live signups this week for dining hours. Moving forward, they'll be in Coleman's recap email for the next week. So when she sends out her email about this meeting, you'll sign up for next week, and then we'll use that system for the rest of the year. So with that being said, is there anyone who's interested in doing a dining hour during Wednesday?
2 people can sign up at a time as well, but we only have a total of 8 spots for the whole week.
Yeah, so
You do get a free meal.
You get a free meal, and if anybody wants to do it with Artie, you can do it at the same time.
Me and Senator Johnston take Friday at 12.
All right, 3 more.
Can Astra and I get Wednesday at 8 a.m.?
All right, that's it. Thank y'all. Y'all have a good week.
All right, next are our reports from our liaisons, beginning with the Honors Congress.
Wood Honors College. Not much to report. We fully transitioned over into our new leadership team because, we did all the interviews and cabinets and all that. So we're fully transitioned into our new team, and we had our general meeting last week, and we just sort of acknowledged our last year and some of the stuff we were able to do, like our, Math B and our formal that we put on, and also just sort of acknowledging our past leadership team. That's all for me.
And now moving to our report from BSU. Donovan's not here. Okay, next we have our report from the Auburn Student Veterans Association.
For student veterans. Hello everyone, hope y'all are doing well. I just have 2 things. One, the golf classic that we had 2 weeks ago, I think now. We're we're still putting together all the numbers for it, but besides the numbers, it went exceptionally well, and it was a lot of fun, and all the veterans got to hang out and drink and golf, and it was a great time. And we got a day off from class, so it was really fun, and we got to connect with the local community and everything and make connections like that, so it was great. And then actually this is really great news. So for those who don't know, the Resource Center, the Veterans Resource Center, is located in Foy Hall, but it's kind of a small space, so we actually got approved to move the Resource Center still in Foy Hall, but where the old pharmacy offices used to be. I don't know where that is exactly, but I guess in the basement of Foy Hall. But it's where all those empty admin offices are, and it's a really large space for us, so we'll be able to just have more offices, more admin offices, which means more staff, which would be great for us, and just more study rooms and places for the veterans to hang out. But that is all for me.
I keep losing it, I'm sorry. And now moving into our report from the ROTC.
Long ROTC, not much to report. I was talking to my CEO. I wasn't going to say anything, but he wanted me to say something, use my voice, I guess. But he wanted me to tell y'all two quick things. One, Army and Air Force are both getting new COs, so that means they'll have a new 06, which, if you don't know, that means pretty much is like a really big guy that I have to salute if I see him. Besides that, it doesn't really bother you all that much. But Army and Air Force both getting new ones, so that'll be big for their programs, just seeing where they're going forward. Also, with that being said, the other thing I have is, like I said, President's Day is coming up, and then we also have an awards ceremony that we do every year, just recognizing like particular candidates. One thing I was supposed to tell y'all is Army was actually ranked as the #1 Army ROTC in the country this past semester. So big kudos to them. Yeah. Navy's #1 also. No, I'm kidding. Army's really good. We love them, and so just kudos to them. And they did a really great job with their program, and so still, yeah, just thought I'd let y'all know that. Thanks, y'all.
All right, and that concludes our reports for today. We'll move into our current orders, beginning with PSSB 2204-1101. We have changed a little bit of the voting mechanism, so if everyone would pull out their phones, that would be great. And I'll send y'all an email momentarily.
Jones at large asked for approval of the following: Ram Pradipati, Noah Hilton, Sarah Gibson, Walker Hartfield, Sadat Kamal, Amit, Rolando Paez, and Cole.
It has been moved to pass this bill as written. Is there a second? Is there any debate? How would you spell Hinton? It has been moved to amend this bill to strike the word Hilton and add Hinton. Is there a second? Is there any debate? Seeing none, we will move into a vote. For minutes, we will be doing votes by hand. So if you are in favor of changing Hilton to Hinton, please raise your hand. It looks like the ayes have it and this bill is amended. Is there any further debate on this bill? How do you spell it? It has been moved to add the name Sam Volan to this bill. Is there a second? Is there any debate? Seeing none, we'll move into a vote. All in favor, please raise your hand. All opposed, please keep your hand down. It looks like the ayes have it and this bill is amended. Is there any further debate on this bill? Seeing none, we'll move into a vote. Within your email, you should see 2 links. Please click on the first link to vote on this piece of legislation. Do not vote on the second one yet. We have time. Ben is keeping the time of which all the votes are coming in. All right, it looks like this bill has it looks like the ayes have it and this bill has passed. Our next current order of business is PSSB 2204-1801. Oh, 2402-1102.
I ask for the approval of the following. The amount of $1,000 to be allocated to Beat Bama Food Drive from the Program Expansion Fund for the leadership training line item. The increase in this line item will pay for the expense of hosting the leadership conference and other operational needs of the organization. Pass this bill as written.
It's been moved to pass this bill as written. Is there a second? Is there any debate? Seeing none, we will move into a vote. Please use the second link within your email to vote on this piece of legislation. Wait, that's really cool. That's really, really cool. All right, it looks like the ayes have it and this bill is adopted. Next in order, we have our future orders of business, of which we have 2204-1801, Student Government Association Cabinet Confirmations by Senator Treadwell.
Treadwell Business, I ask for approval of the following. Maddie McDougall, Director of AUBI. Riley Ferguson, Director of AUBI. Mary Frances Moore, Director of AUBI. Madison Larson, Director of AUBI. Emmy Beeson, Director of Freshman Forum. Zay Youngblood, Assistant Director of Freshman Forum. Betsy Glenn, Assistant Director of Freshman Forum. Jack Johnson, Assistant Director of Freshman Forum. Bennett Harris, Director of Recruitment. Vanessa Juguna, Director of Recruitment. Lana Bailey, Director of Public Relations. Tiffany Osborne, Director of Public Relations. Sarah Grace Stubblefield, Director of Public Relations. Vivian Stabler, Director of Photography. Caroline Kelly, Director of Photography. Meg O'Keefe, Director of Photography. Noah Hinton, Director of Photography. Lane Martin, Director of Social Media. Heath McNeil, Director of Videography. Lori Wakefield, Director of Videography. Lauren Asher, Director of Web Development, Ansley Daniel, Director of Auburn Rings, Elizabeth Edward, Director of Auburn Rings, Elizabeth Middleton, Director of Auburn Rings, Cole Wheeler, Director of Auburn Rings, William Goodner, Director of Auburn Rings, Ann Claire Dismukes, Director of Auburn Rings, Jacob Saavedra, Director of Financial Projects, Rohan Sen, Director of Financial Projects, Peyton Carr, Director of Financial Projects, Vincent Indovina, Director of Financial Projects, Morgan Brannon, Director of Academic Initiatives, Ashley Evans, Director of Academic Initiatives, Walton Redden, Director of Academic Initiatives, Caleb Chance, Director of Academic Initiatives, Drew McDaniel, Director of Athletic Initiatives, Wynn Jones, Director of Organizational Seating Program, Maggie Grote, Assistant Director of Organizational Seating Program, Emery Wagner, Assistant Director of Organizational Seating Program, George Turner, Assistant Director of Organizational Seating Program, Marley Green, Assistant Director of Organizational Seating Program, Garrison Shanker, Director of Campus Dining, Michael Chang, Director of Campus Dining, Colin Rigor, Director of Health and Wellness, Ella Horsley, Assistant Director of Health and Wellness, Megan Webster, Director of University Housing, Robert Ricando, Director of Facility Projects, Ben Blosser, Director of Information Technology, Madison Ashley, Director of Parking and Transportation, Ryan Corper, Director of Parking and Transportation, Mallory Kiger, Director of Safety Initiatives, Catherine Ann Davis, Director of Sustainability, Olivia Sutherland, Director of City Relations, Judson Lisenby, Assistant Director of City Relations, Joe Bellardo, Director of Civic Engagement, Sloan Saxon, Director of Civic Engagement, Cole Stacy, Director of Government Relations, Carter Funderburk, Assistant Director of Government Relations, Chase Bentley, Director of Auburn Answers, Emily Hall, Director of Auburn Answers, Vasavi Prakash, Director of Research and Assessment, Elizabeth Bartlett, Director of Research and Assessment, Catherine Steele, Director of Research and Assessment, Lily Grace Thome, Director of Heyday and Creed Day, Forrest Ann Watson, Assistant Director of Heyday and Creed Day, Mary Coker Green, Assistant Director of Heyday and Creed Day, Jack Hilton, Assistant Director of Heyday and Creed Day, Sam Lagan, Assistant Director of Heyday and Creed Day, Christian Rome, Director of Outreach Projects, Haley Clayton, Director of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Projects, Scotland Sims, Director of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Initiatives, and Emma Petney, Director of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Initiatives.
That deserves a round of applause. Thank you, Thomas. Is there any questions on this future order? All right, seeing none, we will be moving into our announcements. Is John David coming back? Okay, we'll come back to it to see if he does come back. But we have our SGA official headshots will be taken both next Monday, the 18th from 4 to 6 p.m. and on Sunday, the 24th from 3 to 5 p.m. in the front of Cater Hall. Please plan to attend one of these so we can get the website updated with all of your pictures over the summer. We're really excited about it. The website's going to look really great, but we need y'all to attend one of these sessions and so we can get it all up to date. Next, the Edge office hours are a really, really great opportunity for all of you to get feedback from your constituents. I did them last year with John David every Wednesday from 11 to 12, and it was so fun. When you do these hours similar to all of your other hours, though, please remember to upload an anonymous Auburn Answers, and so we can get our outreach team as connected to all of the feedback that we receive as we can. And now that he's back, we have a really, really big announcement. So I'd like to invite the SGA executive team to come to the front, and at this time, we will be sharing our executive goals for this year. These goals are the overarching priorities that we have as an executive team, and we will be able to work together as a Senate and a cabinet in order to achieve some of these goals.
All right, so from the administrative standpoint, one of our main goals this year is create a new structure for projects and events sponsored by SGA that would increase involvement from students outside of our cabinet and senate. So as you all know, every single student on Auburn's campus is a member of SGA. And so with that being said, they don't always have the time to be a senator or a cabinet member, and they lack that time commitment that they may or may not have throughout the year. So with that being said, in order to allow students to have the actual voice and be able to feel like they are truly a part of SGA, which they are, we are working towards defining a new structure based on one-time volunteer opportunities and other events that either you guys need or the cabinet needs. So with that, we're really looking forward to increasing just kind of the overall participation of students outside of our positions that we have within SGA, so they feel more a part of SGA. So yeah, thank you.
Okay, so as everyone's well aware, SJ's marketing for the past, honestly, 2 years has been a little bit, I guess, bland is the nicest, or the best word to describe it. So we use a lot of words, we don't use a lot of photos, we don't keep our website up to date, we don't keep graphics and the Instagram up to date. We are locked out of our Twitter, so we are trying to get back into that. So this year, the goal for communications and marketing is to make sure that our website and all of our online platforms are being utilized by all students, not just those in SGA. So that means putting things on the website and putting things on social media that students need to know as a one-stop shop, rather than having to go to the financial aid website and then having to turn around and go to the housing website or whatever it may be. So kind of how we can we're working on figuring out how we can make the SGA website and our social media platforms a little bit better utilized in that regard. We're trying to figure out if we can convert our website, if we can have different options to pull up our website in different languages so that it's more equitable and accessible to all of our students, including our international students who need access to those resources just as much as we do. We are trying to get back into our Twitter, like I mentioned earlier, so that we can kind of push out those AU alerts so that students kind of have a better gauge of everything happening in one place rather than having 1,000 different notifications in a million different places. We want to make sure that students can put a name with a face, so we can spotlight you guys on the Instagram and on hopefully the Twitter, and make sure that students know who's representing them and who they can talk to in order to get their feedback heard by administrators. So those are projects that we'll be working on all year, and let us know if you have any suggestions. But yeah, we're really excited to kind of increase our engagement online with the way that technology is evolving. So yeah.
All right, guys, on the initiative side, kind of a little background. Past SGAs for the last couple of years have been doing a lot of research on what mental health facilities and what mental health professionals we need here. And now that they've brought those in, one of the main goals for us is to make sure that we publicize that and educate students on where they can go on aspects relating to mental health, or like even things down to eating disorders. So we have a lot of great resources out there, and one of the main things we're going to do is promoting those resources so students know where they can go. And then nextly, we want to promote a physically health lifestyle. So whether that's getting 7 to 8 hours of sleep, drinking a lot of water, going out, getting outside, getting out of your apartment, going for a walk with your friends, we're going to be really promoting a physically healthy, that's the word, thank you, Jake. Physically healthy, well-being, and lifestyle. So those are just two of the kind of healthy things on the initiative side, and then I'll let Jake handle the next initiative goal.
So this initiative is all about increasing loanable technology on campus. And so Auburn already has some great programs kind of instituted for like camera equipment and other technology like that. But for kind of just the basic like laptops, calculators, that kind of level, we have a system right now, but unfortunately it's a very small system of about 50 laptops that's housed in the bottom of RBD. I bet not a lot of y'all have been to the basement of RBD, and so that's one issue right there. We're trying to get it to another place that students go to more often, maybe something like the FOI desk. And then once we have it there, we're also hopeful to expand this program out into general colleges as well. And so, for example, the next time you're in Louder and you're taking a finance test and you need your financial calculator and you left yours at home, you could just check one out. This is also another resource for students that are struggling with paying tuition because college is already expensive enough, and this would just be one more resource.
I'm in finance right now. I don't own a financial calculator. I'm using RETS tomorrow for my test.
So like Rhett said, every member of the Auburn family is a part of SGA, but not everyone really feels that way. So one really big goal I have in the outreach branch is to do more collaborating with other organizations on campus, whether that's BSU, ISO, Spectrum, and other organizations like that, on their initiatives and programs, just so we can make sure that we're including more students, because it's really easy for us to remember our friends when we're putting out surveys or we're promoting initiatives like Hay Day and Cree Day, but we also need to remember that our experience is not the only Auburn experience. So I think it's really important this year that we kind of work to kind of build a relationship with other organizations in other areas of campus, and I think that Senate could really do a good job of that as well. So that's all for me.
Our final executive goal is connecting current students from different campus spheres with prospective students from under-recruited high schools in Alabama to establish relationships that shape the future of Auburn University undergraduate recruitment. So to expand on that a little bit, there are a lot of schools that kind of slip through the cracks in Auburn recruitment. So if you remember back in high school when Auburn University recruiters kind of maybe came to your school and talked to you about the university, there are a lot of schools that doesn't happen to, and they kind of, like I said, slip through the cracks. So we want to work with a lot of different organizations and people and groups within the Auburn family, the Auburn community, to expand those efforts and really try to hammer down some of these schools that we don't really go to as much.
All right, thank y'all. Those are our exec goals this year. We hope that we can work with all of y'all to kind of find ways so we can fulfill some of those goals by utilizing both Senate and Cabinet. If any of y'all have any ideas about any of those specifically and projects that you want to work on that kind of fall under some of those, please feel free to reach out and let me know. Also, feel free to continue to work on your own initiatives. And then my last little announcement is I've been in contact with someone from the rec center, and they have allowed us the opportunity to do some tabling there. Jabin is heading this up, and so it'll be open to the Student Affairs Committee first, just to kind of get feedback, but we will open that up for all of y'all later. And this is a great opportunity. We did them again at the rec last year, and they were so fun. Before we adjourn, does anyone have any questions? All right. Well, that is all from me at this time. Keep up the great work. I didn't say you were done. Did I? All right. Well, that is all from me at this time, but keep up the great work. Remember to be safe, be smart, be kind to everyone. You are dismissed.